Okay, here with Steve King. Steve, given the week that you've had, was it more about the result than the performance today?
Yeah, but I've got to say the boys give everything out, absolutely everything. And to be fair, I don't think Dan had a save to make in the whole game. So we should have had a penalty in the first half. Stonewall penalties, made a massive mistake there. And I think to add insult to injury, he's booked Brendan, and I think that's poor. Brendan wins the penalty second half for us, clear-cut penalty. Not that I'm interested in the bookings, but he don't book the fella that's taking him down for the penalty, but books him for what he thinks is a dive. But anyway, yeah, it's been a tough week, really tough week. Like I said in my notes, it's been the toughest week since I've been at the club. Having to get rid of people and getting rid of my staff that worked with me for a long time. That's been tough.
We'll come and talk about that in a minute. Back to the game. I felt, considering we'd had 10 days off, we were quite bright. We started well, and really, if we'd have been ahead at half-time, it would have been a fair reflection of the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. We had a couple of chances that we should have scored from. Gav should have scored. Brad had a chance, could have scored. With the quality of the players we know they should be scoring those chances. But yeah, I think we've done all right, considering we went with two little men up top. We thought we could get down the sides of them. I watched them last week and I thought that we could have got down the sides of their centre half a little bit more, and we turned them. Jack certainly had the legs on them when we started to stretch the game. Danny put a few balls in behind them, which caused them problems, and once he put them balls in behind and Jack was on them, they brought them down, free kicks, bookings, etc.
When it's 0-0, you're always concerned you only have to get a corner or anything, but in the main we were resolute and we got the reward with the penalty, which was obviously a stone wall.
Yeah, definitely, but sometimes you can't. That's what I said to them in there. You can't play well all the time, but you deserve to win the game. There's no way you didn't. You caused them problems. You had a number of chances, not loads, but a number of them. And sometimes you have to win them ugly sometimes, and we gritted it out, and I felt we gritted it out, and people gave everything for the cause. And like I said, a tough week. A lot of their peers have gone during the week. Ones that have got us where we are as well. So it was tough on the lads as well.
Danny Mills come on, had a big impact, allowed Kiernan the space for the penalty. Pleased with his impact?
Yeah, definitely. It was a toss up what we did. We went with big man, little man, or two little men. It's what we decided. We went with the two little men. I think they did all right, but Danny causes different problems when he comes on. Aerially he can hold the ball up, he's strong, he's a willing runner. So yeah, mate, that's what you want from your subs when they come and make impacts. It's
a big 3 points because we're up to 5th now, so we're aiming up again. Pleased with our position?
Oh, yeah, over the moon. We can only affect us. I see a lot of the other games with draws and a couple of defeats. Dartford and Torquay. But yeah, we can only worry about ourselves, and I think, like I said, with everything that's gone on this week, to get the 3 points, that was important.
Let's talk about this week. Obviously, there was a note in the programme with Mark Goldberg just going through that the budget has been cut. Talk us through your decisions of the players that have gone out and how you came to those decisions.
Well, we had to reduce the budget down, so the easiest way and the quickest way to reduce the budget down is the most expensive players basically had to go. It's not something we wanted to happen. Obviously we know that we have to live within our means, which is correct. No one wants to see not have a football club, so we have to work together, and me and Mark worked together to reduce the budget where we needed to. But to lose 8 people in one throw is with staff included is really, really tough. We've got through it. Only problem is when that happens, you've got to worry if you get injuries. We're going to be threadbare. We had 3 on the bench today. Nazim's out, Jordan's still out, and Julian's still out. So hoping we'll have some of them back next week. But yeah, we had to do what we have to do.
Was there an opportunity for any of the academies to step into the bench, or was that not an option today?
Not really. I'll be honest, I don't know too many of them. I've worked with Gary a little bit with players. He sends players up to train with us sometimes. That may be a bit more frequent now as the squad gets thinner. But I'm of the opinion that if you're going to bring people on the bench, they need to be able to come to work, not just sit there to keep the bench warm and say, oh, I've sat on the first team bench. They need to be able to come in and make an impact. So otherwise there's no point in having them on the bench. You know, we can say, you know, I don't dress it up. We can say, oh, it's good for the academy. Brilliant, but we need them to be good enough to be able to step on the pitch. Wise, it's not fair if you're going to throw someone out there, putting them in the lion's den, as you call it, and they're not ready. So, you know, we'll probably be working closer now with the numbers so tight. And if we feel that anybody is ready, I don't mind. Age knows no barrier to me.
How does it change our aim for the season? Is it still playoffs, or has the goalpost changed a little bit because of the news this week?
I think you're talking to me as a very positive person, and I'm always going to say we're going to go for the playoffs, always, because that's me, that's the nature of the beast. But you've got to be realistic as well. We've got quality players left that are capable of winning the games, but how and if and when they get injured and how we can replace and what we can do. You know, you look at other people's squads, they're running into the 20s. All the top teams are running into the 20s. So we're going to be running at 16 players. We can say we've got 17, but one of them is Jack Jebb, and Jack's out for the season. So we've got 16 players, that's the bottom line. 3 out today, leaves us 13 players.
You managed to, I think, pull a rabbit out of the hat by bringing Jack Barham in, who I think for his debut, considering he'd probably only met the players, 4 hours before the game, he's done okay, he's done well. So we've got to look at the positives from that point of view.
Yeah, what Jack will give you is a willingness. He runs in behind people, causes problems, he's like a pest, and he's got quality, but he never got an opportunity today to score. But I know he's a very good finisher. I've seen him, watched him a number of times, so if he gets a chance, he's normally going to go in the back of the net. But what he did, and I liked, he worked tirelessly. He never gave him a rest. He had scraps to feed on really today, but he put a shift in.
Just in terms of your own position, obviously it's been a challenging week, but you're more than happy at the club. There's no ill feelings towards it. You're focused on getting us in the playoffs now.
100%, no ill feelings at all. I signed a 2-year contract. You know, I'm expected to honour that, and I will honour that. Going forward, it's going to be tougher. I understand that. I bought into it. You have to, when you go into jobs and you have a number of injuries in the beginning, and the club allow you to go and sign players to cover those positions. When everyone fits, you can't carry the size of squad that we had. So we've had to trim it. Maybe trimmed it, in my own personal opinion, a little bit too much. But we have to live within our means, and I get that. I 100% get that. So the relationship I have with Mark is an important one, and we both sat down and we looked at budgets, and we've had probably 3 or 4 talks in the space of a week. We sat down and we digested it and where we needed to get to. We've done that. I thank all the players that have contributed, that have now gone and moved on, etc., etc., because they're the ones that have got us where we are. I thank Osei, my coach, and Larry, who's been with me forever. We had no choice in the matter, as in financially. So they got explained. They're you know, upset, obviously, but understand it's football. And we have to cut off accordingly. And if your owner tells you it's got to be this, that's what it's got to be. It's as simple as that.
Next week, Billericay away. They've had a change of manager. Harry Wheeler gone back in there. It's going to be a tough game.
100%. They've got quality players still. You look through their starting lineup. They're as good as any teams in the league. Obviously, they're going through transition. Harry's gone back. Dean's just come out. A load of players have gone. Loads of players in. So it's still going to be tough. They've gone to Concord and drawn today, 2-2. So it's going to be a tough game to get anything from there.
Well, we won. That's the main thing. And thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks, mate. Thanks very much.